It's Garlic Jr., the Ginyu Force, and even Frieza. Goodbye, my son.
The renowned creator of the popular Japanese animated series Dragon Ball Z has passed away. Sources indicate Akira Toriyama died of acute subdural hematoma, which is a buildup of blood on the surface of the brain. Members of his team say he had multiple ongoing projects at the time of his death on March 1st. Toriyama was 68 years old.
Akira Toriyama, manga artist, legend, icon. Even if you don't know his name, you know the famous anime Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Akira died March 1st, and for us in the West, we're just now getting exposed to this news, and it's hit the anime community really hard, and it's a sad day for us right now. Akira Toriyama impacted a lot of our childhood in a positive way. A lot of anime fans today, their pathway of getting into the genre and really appreciating it came from the influence of Dragon Ball Z and watching Toonami and Adult Swim late at night. And he was the one reason that young people everywhere, when they thought of hard work and getting stronger, going Super Saiyan, reaching the next level, a lot of us had Goku in mind. Dragon Ball Z is so popular and the character of Goku is so influential that every rapper seems like they have a bar about going Super Saiyan or being like Goku. There's a reason that even if a person who isn't familiar with the genre of anime and they don't watch it at all, they know about Dragon Ball Z, they know about Goku, they know about the Kamehameha wave. Akira Toriyama and Dragon Ball Z had a global impact. I feel like you can't mention anime without mentioning Dragon Ball. You can't mention Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z was the blueprint for a lot of the cool fight scenes and power-ups and ki blast waves and Dragon Ball Z video games that you got to relive the experience of defeating villains and bad guys that brought families together and friends for a game night. I remember the first ever Dragon Ball Z Budokai game that my older brother had, who is the most hood person that I know who's really about that life. And he had this game for the PS2. Like, do y'all realize that DBZ was able to bring the block together? Dragon Ball Z and Goku will always be relevant in the anime medium. It's because of this man, Akira Toriyama. He left a legacy unparalleled to anyone else. Toriyama used his time, talents, and treasures to influence the world, honestly, more than anyone else that I know of. And if you ask any manga artist in the East or the West, they would love to have the success or a tiny bit of success and influence that Toriyama and his characters had. As sad as his death is, I feel like when any influential person dies who's left a beautiful legacy behind, like Toriyama, we're left with a question to ponder. What do we do when legends die? I think we ask questions like, how can the world go on without said famous person? And I know for the anime community, we might be asking that question today. Death is a sobering reality that even the most influential and famous people can't escape. The most gifted, the most honored, the most wealthy, we will always lose to death. And it's sad because we all have to do the dance with death. And as of right now, death has a flawless record. Well, actually, there's one loss on death's record, and that's because Jesus has ultimately defeated death through his resurrection. He lived the life you and I cannot live. He died in our place and was the only one ever to rise from the dead because he's God. And death couldn't hold him. But Akira Toriyama's death reminds me of James when it talks about how life is like a vapor and it goes by so fast and you're gone just like that. And I don't know where Toriyama was at with God, and my hope is that he did know Jesus. I don't know, but I think the number one thing that we can do when legends die who have impacted us so much is to first, in my perspective, give your life to Jesus. Surrender your life to him, because the reality of Jesus rising from the dead is that the hope and promise that one day when Jesus comes again, death itself will be defeated once for all, and we will have a new world, a new life without death and mourning and sorrow. The second thing to that is to live your life in a way to influence the world around you for good. I have a mentor that talks about living, like, are you living for the dot or are you living for the line, right? Are you living your life in a way that, are you just living for the moment? You just want to, do what you can do now and, get what you can get now. And then at the end of the day, you just die. You're living for the present moment. Or are you living in a way that you're living for eternity and living in light of eternity? All of us have been given time, talents, and treasures to use for good in this world, but most importantly for the Christian person, you have been given gifts by God to use for his glory in the world. And I think what we can learn from Toriyama is that your talents and your gifts you have to offer the world can, on a larger scale, influence the world in a great way, but it also can influence people in your own life, the people around you, significantly. Toriyama brought laughter, storytelling, inspirational transformations, and dramatic scenes that prolonged over 5 episodes that we all loved to give us a memorable childhood. While we are mourning the loss of Toriyama along with the rest of the world, I hope that you and I, as anime fans, we can reflect on Toriyama's legacy and have it propel us forward to do great things to help the rest of the world for good. This is kind of a challenge to the rest of AniTube. I know I'm a small YouTuber, whatever. I know that we like to make videos about our favorite anime and argue about what's considered peak or what's trash anime, and we entertain others with our anime opinions. But what else are you offering to the people that watch you? How can you offer value to others that watch you to motivate them to go out into the world and be an impact where they are at? Or are we just gaining a following so that way they can reference us when they're arguing about certain things? Akira Toriyama will be a legend in the manga industry. And I hope that we can be even just as little as impactful as him with the time, talents, and treasures that God has given us to steward with. All right. I'll catch you later. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.